Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today we are going to be showcasing the catch in all of its incredible glory to the extent in which I can, which I kind of like. I kind of like to see you can get a little bit more on top, but it's already really good on a base. But I wanted to throw it around with characters that could be relevant or could use it in a relevant way, and I may make a part 2 to this video when a certain horned individual comes out who probably can use it too. Hopefully it's not another fucking Bido situation. Anyway, but ladies and gentlemen, I've recently got access to just enough fish, just enough, not a lot. It's a nightmare, I'll be honest. You're trying to get these damn glowing fish and they just capped out at you. Also, if you're like me, who's been kind of like messy with the time of late because, you know, he's been playing a game that's also great called Tales of Horizon. Anyways, but yes, if we go here, we can get, you guessed it, one more. So, in today's video, we're going to be seeing Refinement 2. Sorry. But I just wanted to play it and I wanted to make this video because I wanted to see what, like, the scaling of it is. And if this is, like, half of what you could see. So, if it's already good, which it already is, it could go even further beyond, you know? So, anyways, I thought we would just do it today because I'm really interested in it. Also, I should be able to get one more and then I'm capped out, right? Let's see, I didn't check. Yes, I can get one more, so I probably, yeah. Oh no, I'll need a lot of the other ones to get the things, but I should be close to getting it max refined soon. So I may make a video as well as other things when we finally do get it fully capped out. I probably will make it in harmony with the Raiden Shogun video, part 2, when I want to crown her and everything, which I'm planning on doing. But resources are sparse, so forgive me. Anyways, let's go to the weapon and go over here and actually refine this bad boy. It is already basically level 8 or level 90, sorry. So yes, now it is 24% damage. When you max it out, it gets 30 to 12, I believe. So it'll become 30 damage and 12. But, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, if I wasn't clear, we're going to throw this on relevant characters like Xiangling, and like, of course, the Raiden Shogun, although we kind of already seen that, and also like Rosaria. And also, I'm probably going to have to really mess up my builds for the characters because, yeah, but also on a character like Hu Tao, it wouldn't do anything, you know, it would just increase her alt's damage, which isn't the thing that you're going to predominantly be using with that character, so it shouldn't be that much better. And also, there's characters like Xiao, which I'm almost certain it wouldn't work. We could try it, but Xiao is in the same category as Razor, where for whatever reason, their alt doesn't count as, or is not amplified by alt damage increase with an artifact or within weapons. But ladies and gentlemen, where a lot of people are going to put this weapon is on Xiangling. And Xiangling, oh boy howdy can she use this weapon. Or sorry, oh boy howdy is Xiangling good now. Xiangling is insanely good. Especially with this weapon, especially with this new artifact set that just makes her alt fantastic. And if you happen to have constellations, and you have, where is it, this one right here, Pyronado, duration is increased by 40%. This gives her significant more uptime on her alt, basically allowing you to back-to-back it. Similar to Shinsho, there's like a couple seconds, but if you're using other characters, you're gonna be, yeah, you're gonna be able to switch them and immediately have it available. Also, yeah, when you hit someone with Goba, their pyro resistance will go down, so this is a nice little icing on top, I guess. And then you get the scaling also with her alt, which is fantastic. And then her final constellation is actually pretty shitty. It just increases all party members' pyro damage. That's it. Just a little bit. Not great. Not great for not doing pyro damage. It also increases hers though, which is nice. Now, I will say, first and foremost, she is not level 90, so the damage could be better. I like doing this. I know a lot of people like to cap things out. I always like if this is passable, then it's not even the skill ceiling, my friends. We can get even crazier up in here. But yes, we have a 60% crit rate. I think this is pretty valuable because your thing is going to be hitting multiple times, and to have the higher crit rate, it will be really good. Same thing with crit damage, also great. Energy recharge is what you're kind of going to want though, because that damage is going to immediately translate into your alt's damage, and also your ability to quickly cast your alt over and over again. And we're rocking a cup of pyro on her, just to give her some more teeth, as well as, again, her weapon is giving her even more energy recharge, as well as even more ultimate burst damage, which is good, like beyond good, like good. Ladies and gentlemen, let's showcase the very, very cute and very, very far too excitable Xiangling. Good. Oh, my body is so sore. God, why? Oh, my tendons, my rib. Overtraining is the best and the worst. Good for the mind and probably bad for your health. All right, my friends, what a better place to showcase Xiangling than a place that is going to be, so we're going to basically show, I'm all in my shit right now, sorry. We are going to showcase Xiangling on her best situation in the cryo domain, where she is going to be executing melt constantly. We're also going to be scaling up her damage with Bennett. For those guys who do not know, there's something in the game called screenshotting. I'm sorry, what's happening to my voice right now? Also, if you appreciate the effort and videos that are coming out, and me fishing for an eternity to get this damn weapon, then hopefully you'll support the video in any way. Thank you so much, and back in the video. But there's something in the game called screenshotting or snapshotting. And essentially what it is if you have any character like Bennett or like Sara, when you use their attack scaling or like giving it to your allies, it will snapshot it based on the cast of the alt. So if Bennett's alt's activated and you go and use Xiangling's whirlwind or like her pyronado, what that's going to essentially do is it's going to scale up its damage for its entire duration, even if you exit the alt, which is huge. Sara is a little bit more weird. You kind of got to like, if you have her C2, you use her E and then you switch to her real quick and then you let it pop, or you hit the ground. Sara is a weird one. Sara seems needlessly complicated. Anyways, also my Raiden Shogun is going to be significantly neutered here, but we're only gonna be really using her for an Energizer Bunny. In fact, let's really try to take down her punch. We're gonna basically give her a white weapon. All right, we're gonna give her a white weapon for now. So she's basically just going to act as an Energizer Bunny for our team, as well as giving them amplified burst damage. For those guys who do not know, when you activate this, it's going to give them more energy or elemental burst damage per the amount of energy that you have. It's a weird thing. Anyways, in fact, maybe we shouldn't. Yeah, not everyone has Raiden. I'll take her out. That doesn't seem right. I'll put official in there so she can give back. Yeah, I just won't use Raiden Shogun for the first little bit, because right now I'll just use her to get her alt back. That's it. So I'll just probably cut that out. Anyways. I will try to use Bennett though in sequence though, so we will actually try to get his alt back as soon as we possibly can by doing double pyro weirdness, like so. Come on, Boba. Alright, so we're going to do one of these. We're going to snapshot this by doing this. Yeah, we're dealing, 16k, 16k, 14k. Also, each spiral does better and better damage. Also, Bennett is just incredible in a lot of ways. But yeah, very, very good. In fact, probably should have played Bennett there, because it just makes more sense to play Bennett. We'll do. Oh, I'm dead! Ah! Son of a bitch! Try to get her alt back. In fact, we'll just use the Raiden Shogun to quickly. Don't kill her. I have no spear. Oh, I have no spear. We did 51,000 still. Okay, but we're not dealing that much damage here. Okay, good. Give me that alt back. Now we're gonna use Bennett's alt. This again. Try to snapshot this. All right, we're good. We're good to go. We're gonna do this. This again. Boom, blitzkrieged. Again, 9,000. Oof, 9,000. Yeah, 9,000. What happened to 14,000? Was I not in the alt? Maybe. Regardless, we beat this with 2 characters. Okay, with 2 characters, really. Well, not true. Well, I don't know. 50k is a pretty good for Raiden. Sorry. Let's run this back and run this with Raiden Shogun. The slight increase to their burst damage, essentially. Also, you could upgrade the damage by putting Xiangling's shield on her, and that would increase the pyro damage with that. So just be careful. We're just trying to see, like, on a base. This is just Xiangling without any help. If I throw Xingqiu in there, yeah, vaporize will happen. All this crazy shit will happen. So yeah, but let's do this. Throw this out, do one of these, and then cast this. So that's going to help with our alt damage, essentially. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and let's see what the damage is. Yeah, so now it's like we just hit for 20k, more or less. Yeah, also it might have been cryo was what was happening. We were activating melt, because it looks like it's 9,000, and maybe with a melt it's 14,000. Ooh, it's rough. It's rough. I should not stay playing her. We'll do that. We'll activate Pyronado. We'll do this as well, just to be efficient, so that we have our alt up always. But it doesn't look like it adds a huge chunk, essentially. So we were dealing. Now, I think it was melt what we were activating. But even still, 10,000 damage on a bad day, and it happens for such a long time, like such a crazy amount of time. Anyways, very, very good. Yeah, also, if you have Bennett and her, they just harmonize with each other because they're both fire characters, and if you use Xiangling, or like, basically you can, if I were to, okay, let's run it back one more time, except this time, let's actually try to play quote-unquote optimally. So if you actually have a DPS Bennett, as weird as that is, you could probably use him really well here as well. He could be like your weird main DPS, and Xiangling could just support the shit out of him. It is a lot of pyro damage, so if you ever run into characters that don't have that utility, it's a little less good, which we'll go and try to do a domain where it's a little less optimal, but still probably, it's still good. And we're only really using 2 characters here. We're not using Xingqiu, and we're barely using the Raiden Shogun, just to give her the slight amplification of her damage. In fact, let's not even use the Raiden this time, just because it seems like a little bit, could be skewed in some way. We'll do this, and now because we're in Bennett's ult, we're basically going to be able to keep casting his E really, really fast, so that's going to keep giving particles to both Xiangling and Xingqiu, and that's why they synergize. That's why I was mentioning that. Also, you want to kind of be in the middle of all of it. The good news is you don't, like, you can't actually miss. Also, her ult is up. We're just waiting to use it. There we go. We'll do that, knock him out of his weird bullshit, and yeah, we're just perfectly invulnerable basically this whole time. Yeah, it's basically a good way to have, like, this is a good beginner build. If you just have a Bennett, you can just build him with enough HP, enough health, and all of these things. Also, you're going to be able to throw, if you leveled up Boba, my Boba is pretty weak right now. He's only hitting for 3k. That's not bad, but it's not where it could be, you know what I mean? Especially considering my Xiangling, again, is not by any means well developed. Xiangling and Xingqiu are basically the same kind of character, and my Xingqiu has, well, I need to improve his stats, but he used to have like the Raiden Shogun stat, which is like pretty okay crit rate, pretty okay crit damage, and a decent amount of energy recharge. Although I kind of gave every good artifact I had to her because I like playing her a lot. And these characters don't need a lot to pop off in a huge way. But I still need to improve their crit rate and such, so I get it. Anyways, but what my point is that she still needs a significantly more help. Like, I could invest in her way more. So the fact that she's doing this at an okay level is insane. Like, you could, if you had insane more crit damage and crit rate and like kind of balance throughout a lot more, which I do plan to do, things could just get even more nutty. But even still, 10,000 damage on a passive is awesome. Is a free, amazing damage, and also it lasts for such a long time, and this skill specifically, my voice is fucking gone. Anyways, each spiral, so each time it swings and it circles around you, it's going to deal more and more and more damage. And again, that's not utilizing Vapor. I guess we'll use Xingqiu. We'll do one more run of her best. We'll use Xingqiu. Fuck it, we'll use Ball's E, not her ult, just to show you guys what can happen. But yeah, again, an amazing combo just for like weird DPS action is Bennett, which you're going to want for screenshotting anyway, or snapshotting, sorry. And Xiangling, Bennett with his E active just gets his skill backs instantly, his smack, and it generates 3 particles, so you can just hyper charge your entire pyro team. But you'll eventually inevitably find an enemy that is resistant to pyro, which is why it's good to build Xingqiu or Bido or anything like that. Anyways, let's go. We'll do this, and then we'll go to Bennett again. Oh wait, I didn't have this. Oh, it was a little less good. Well, it's fine. More balanced, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna want to attack with him though this time around. So we're constantly applying that water stat. Where we can cycle into our characters once again. We'll do this. We'll do this. Oh, I can't yet. And we'll do this. Throw Bulb out. We'll do a Pyronado again. We'll do this. Where is he? This. And everything died in between. So yeah. Now, again, I could just switch to Bennett and generate more particles for her, and honestly for Xingqiu as well, because particles, when you're capped out, will just be given to whoever doesn't have energy, and it'll be less efficient for people who are not of the same element, but they're still good, and particles, you know? Anyways, so is there, like, we can't go full tilt fire domain. I mean, Overload is significantly less good than Melt, so we should be able to see it here. I don't know, like, if there's a fire domain specifically, and of course it's like if there was 100% resistant to fire, then she's just gonna crap out, so it's not like, it's not a discussion, it's just how it is. Yeah, I feel like Overload's significantly less good of an element, so we'll just go here, and again we'll just use Bennett and her. and we won't use Xinqiu. So this should be a good showcase to see this her at her like worst, or not worse. Her worst is at like a fire mage, and you're just like, well, huh. Well, hopefully you brought anybody else just to melt the shield, and then you can just tear them down with anything else. But yeah. Anyways, we'll do this. We'll throw this. We'll start generating particles again. Hopefully that gets her thing. We'll do this. We'll switch to you again. Do some more of this. And we'll just keep back forth this as much as we can. We already have Bennett's ult going. Should be good to go. I could have collected that actually and been like had better damage for her. We'll do this again. We'll do this. We should have her ult basically ready to go as soon as I can cast it. Wow. Also, Bennett's much more of a battery than you are. Anyways, this. And we're just going to keep back and forthing it. She does so much good damage that that you're going to be okay. Yeah, 13k just then, I just seen. It does miss sometimes. It is like just the right wiggle room where we're like, God damn it, not like this. Shit. But no, we're about to clear this domain, and it was not in bad time either. And that's with using 2 characters. It's not like you couldn't have other characters or a better main DPS than Bennett. Although Bennett does work because we're just generating an abundance of particles. Fuck it! This! Yeah, so even at our worst, it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't really know, like, what instance. I mean, maybe that instance. Sure, let's go here real quick. We gotta go to Rosaria and whatnot. We'll fight the fire plant, even though I think he's fully resistant. So it will be a rough sell if at all possible. Also, man, Xiangling is one of the cuter characters in the game, but she just never really had a place. Which is awesome that they released an artifact that essentially let this character like set off and be set free. And again, there is a character coming down the pipeline, very similar to Xinqiu and Baido. That looks very like perfect for this weapon as well. Like it just, yeah, good. Especially if you're trying to do some sort of weird DPS thing as well. And yeah, in fact, we will need to use this to break this. Maybe this as well. Come on, don't be like this. Hurry up and break. Okay. We'll use Xiangling. Oh, we didn't get a snapshot though of it, so it's not as deadly. Well, this will be a good showcase of it anyway. Also, we're not supposed to use that. Sorry. I mean, she's able to do some damage still. Yeah, she's still doing 2,000 damage, and that was without a screenshotted like equivalent of that. So that's not bad. In fact, maybe I can. Well, let's see.
Why do they never miss?
Let's use this. Hit his head. Hit his head. Okay, so now he's good. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, Boba. And we're gonna throw this now. Now we're not gonna use Xinqiu's spears, but it's still doing like 4K. 4K is not bad. 4K on a fire boss. So even with him being so resistant, we were still able to knock him dead really, really easily. And that's with my Xiangling, who's not even developed. Like she's not. I have not made her great. I just gave her the catch and like a handful of okay artifacts I had in my like attempts to get good artifacts essentially. Anyways, now ladies and gentlemen, let's give Rosaria the weapon. Now I don't know how good Rosaria is going to be. In fact, I'm kind of thinking that she's going to be pretty awful with it, if I'm being honest. Also, another good weapon for Xiangling is this weapon increases damage against enemies affected by pyro or hydro, which is good for her too. Also, elemental mastery is not a bad stat on her at all because you're trying to get detonate vaporize because you're not just going to be doing fire like we were doing. But needless to say, it's not like Xiangling doesn't have already a good weapon set out there. In fact, this is like the only weapon that is good for this character. For like this weapon sucks ass. Basically, it's only good for her. Well, her and someone else potentially. But anyways, yeah. So essentially, I think this weapon could be. You could offset this to another more valuable person because I think this does work with her really well. Again, 36 damage isn't bad. It's not quite as good as 30 ult damage, and also critical rate, but it's something, you know. Also, you have to have a requirement met. But I digress. Let's give this to our girl Rosaria, who also has a pretty good weapon, crit rate and all that stuff. Just kind of a weapon I threw on her. Let's throw this one on her though. So yes, now by the way, my Rosaria, it is level 6 talents, so I didn't, by the way, I should have mentioned that. Xiangling's talents, that's the one thing I did level her up for, is I gave her like tier 11 talent, which is pretty okay, not crazy, but pretty okay, you know? So to take that into consideration, again, a lot of like hitting anywhere from 4K to 10K is whether you have invested in their talents enough. Just so that it's not like the most skewed thing ever, maybe we should give her Xiangling's artifacts as well. just so that it can kind of be a little bit balanced and harmonized. So it's like a similar damage showcase, although she does have less, so just take that into consideration. Okay, what does Rosaria's stats look like now? Which is, yes, her alt damage should theoretically hit harder, but, you know, also she has cryo, right? Yeah, cryo. Yeah, but that's not exactly what she's made for as a unit-wise. She's made to give critical rate and all of these things, but her crit rate should actually become significantly better when we use her E, so she might actually be still really in the realm of being okay. Okay, so now let's go over and actually this would be the perfect boss to actually fight against for her. I mean, I guess Super Conduct would also be pretty okay, maybe, possibly. Let's go, just run this domain back again. Let's see how it goes. We'll use Bennett again, amplify damage, screenshot her saber pulse. I don't think I have any cryo characters that I can specifically use to like just generate a shit ton of particles. Maybe Diona, although maybe Kaya. I think Kaya would be the best like battery for her if I wanted, but not like a Rosaria, like Bennett. Like, yeah, but I think we're gonna be fine anyway. But yeah, we're just here to see the damage. I will say, Rosaria, less talent. She take it easy on me. This is just kind of like a peek behind the curtain. Also, I think I already made a whole video showcasing a ball, so we'll probably just do a quick ball showcase. She works really well with it, apparently. But also, ball just does, like, with her dimensional slash, already does 51,000 with a white tier weapon. So, with a good weapon, she does, like, double that, essentially, which is crazy. There's, like, 80, or, like, 90, I think, if I were to crit. Anyway, let's do this. Let's do this. This. Oh, I should have used my alt first. Oh, whatever. Our crit rate's still pretty good. We're just gonna use this, and we're just gonna keep in the circle. I mean, it's not bad. It's okay. We're generating less particles, and now we basically just have our alt. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll use Rosaria. Rosaria, even with a lot of energy recharge, still doesn't quite. Actually, maybe not. Maybe she does. Maybe I'm just being a little too harsh. Also, yeah, she can activate that every couple seconds, so maybe that's not as bad as I'm thinking. In fact, you probably just switch in between both of these characters and use them really well. Stop it! Stop hitting me! God damn you! Some of this. Some of this. Again, I should use that before so I get more crit rate. Also, what is your crit rate? So she's doing fine, by the way. I just activated my E. We get 71, or 73, sorry. So it's not a bad buff, and everyone else gets better crit rate. And again, we're only using one character, so with that in consideration, not bad. We'll do this, this. Now we should have our particles to do this. And we'll do... Stop it! Not like this! Don't get your alt again! Please! It's a little less. But also, I have less. So it makes sense. Come on, baby! Do some of this! And we have particles. Yeah, what's it? Yeah, 5,000. Okay, so I couldn't see the pulsating. It's. I mean, it's hitting for 5,000. It's not great. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But it's not great. If I were to use characters that were like made to utilize her properly, I think it would be better. Like if I use Xingqiu here, that'd be significantly great. All right. Well, just so we're not here for like well, no, we'll run it. We'll run it. we'll sit here. Again, if you had better talent scaling, this would be better in general. So forgive me, anyways. But still, like we're only using 2 characters here. So if you did have like Xingqiu build, Baido build, anything like that. Maybe less Baido, because this event is this domain specifically resistant against them. But still. Alright. Give me those particles. Christ. Alright, we were able to do it. Now let's do it with the help of everybody else, which is only fair because Xiangling could stand on her own 2 feet because I leveled up her talent to level 12, or level 11, sorry. So now let's see. With the highest of high in the other department. Using better alt scaling with ball, as well as better scaling with, or better like other damage sources like Xingqiu, and we'll actually try to hit with Xingqiu. And we'll probably try to cause some sort of over or freeze so that enemies don't just smash us constantly, not allowing us to keep attacking, you know. Let's run it back again. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll generate particles with... Oh, I should have used this first. Nope. Didn't mean... Yikes. Didn't want to use that, actually. I just wanted to use my E, and I switched to her by default. That is my fault. Alright, we have this ability now. We're going to do this. We're going to use this again. Okay, what is it doing in terms of damage? It's pulsating for... Same thing. Maybe I wasn't in the alt. I don't know. It feels rough. Anyway, we'll do this. We'll do this. This. Again, we're freeze locking in enemies, which is fantastic. Xingqiu, ever present, and almost always life, a godsend essentially. This weird bookworm boy, always just so good. Anyway, we'll do this. We teleport behind him, doing some amazing dodges and all of these things. Do one of these. I should have used his ult first. It was on cooldown. Don't look at me. Anyways, we'll run this back, and he died. So yeah, using other characters significantly increases the process. Although I will say, Xingqiu, just silly kind of character in general. So you know. Take that into consideration. One more test with her. We're going to the fire plant guy, see if she can just melt him, which she should, because the problem if you don't immediately blitzkrieg down the boss, his heart or whatever will be on his head. And Rosaria has mass AoE with that thing, with her ult, so it should hit the top of him. So if you are early game and you're looking for a character to invest in, or you're just getting into Inazuma and you've been playing on and off, you don't have a lot of characters leveled up, you're still kind of not dealing enough damage, she could be great for this specific instance. Although she's mainly there just to increase your crit damage, which is why Xingqiu is something that we probably should use consistently. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, and we'll do this, and we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and we'll do this. Alright, and we'll do more of this, and then we'll do some of this. Yeah, her ult, the thing is I think you do need Constellation 2 in order for her to really feel like she's a character that is worth her weight in gold essentially. So let's see. Will his like heart crack? My heart cracks. Anyway, yeah, I mean, actually maybe not. Maybe it's just high enough to be out of the range of her thing. Little bit shitty. This is why he is so good, because he can reach all the way up there essentially. Another reason why Xingqiu is stupid and nuts. Alright, 1000 damage on a cast. Feels incredible. Although we were able to hit him. Although who's to say that wasn't him dragging his face along the ground. But regardless, yeah, I think Rosaria feels really bad, frankly, because I don't have Constellation 2. Yes. So yeah, it gives you 4 more seconds, which gives her ult 100% uptime, which would be good. The thing to note though is I do think Xiangling is significantly better in this regard as like a support DPS, because Xiangling has a roaming ult that constantly goes around you, lasts forever, and hits a stupid high radius. So not only is it always with you, but it's better than Kaya's, because Kaya's is in a small radius that's tight to him, so you need to be attacking enemies right on top of you in order to get the bonus, whereas Xiangling has such a stupid high radius, and it hits hard as shit, and it comes back easily, and her E facilitates a shit ton of particles as well, and anything hit by her E weakens enemies to pyro damage as well. If you have enough constellation, I think that's her first constellation. Yeah, Goba weakens resistance, a weakness to pyro. Awesome. So yeah, that's fantastic. So last character we're going to use is the character that's been in a party for the whole time, and is just mentally good, like wildly good. She is a 5-star, so I like to save them for last. And there's a character down the pipeline who looks very, very appealing. Okay, so this is perfect. Actually, we have our max tier of our alt. Let's go fight this thing, and hopefully we can showcase. This is just a great boss, and this is the boss that I only show when it's like, because it sucks. It's just slow. It's like a meat shield. So you're like, oh, you have to do the things. But this weapon, to some extent, I think it was made for 2 characters. I don't think it was made for Xiangling exactly, although I think she can use it incredibly well. I think it was made for the Raiden Shogun, yes, but an upcoming character that some of you know about. Yeah, it seems like he was made for that person. And I can't wait to show you guys it on him, because I think that's where it was maybe possibly supposed to be. Now, in order to use this, we are going to be using the Raiden Shogun's ult, and I also have that level 9, I believe. But she's a 5-star, so that's pretty high up. That's basically like Xiangling level 11. Because I have a max constellations, or close to max constellations for her. I have 1 missing constellation, which is fine, because her final constellation is just okay. Anywho, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Just get that going. We're going to let him get up, stretch his legs out, throw this, so Boba can get his goddamn particles. This. We're gonna do one of these. Also, well, maybe this is not fair. Well, yes, it's not, but fuck it. Let's just do it anyway. Let's do this. This. Attack. And go. So first of all, we're doing like 8k, and again, we're also dealing 21k in combination with Xingqiu, Xiangling, and everyone we just used. So she's just really, really performing, and he's about to die faster than I think I've ever killed him, because I haven't fought this boss in a long time. And I'm going to need to, for Ganyu, who is potentially, maybe, possibly, coming anyways. But yeah, that's him dead. That is him dead. One of the tankier bosses in the entire game, and he was resistant to Electro. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, we would have been dealing even more damage if he was an Electro. But let's go fight one more creature. So we'll do the cryo boss. Fuck it. Because it's no point doing the domains. In fact, we already made a whole video talking about how much I love Ball, where we did a lot of the domains and blitzkrieg them. Except in this one, let's just use Ball. Well, no, let's use, Bennett and Ball in combination. And her E, because we used the other's E as well for all of them. So, all right. So we're going to use Bennett, and we're going to use her. So first, we're going to do this. First, we may actually want to break this real quick. Boba, go ahead. Go ahead, Bubba. All right, here we go. Boom. This. That's activated. We'll do this real quick, and then we'll do this. Ooh, wait, that did not crit. I guess the crit is 50, yeah, because we critted for 51k on a bad day. But I guess that was... Yeah, because we should have one-shot that person. Although, that's the other thing I'm not considering. Okay, so let's go do this boss. I forgot you need to basically have max resolve. So we do good damage, but with resolve we do great damage. So that's why we're doing 51k and stuff like that, or 80k. Sorry. So let's go ahead and just spam and build a lot of resolve stacks for our team. We'll let Bennett pop off one more time. Alright, now we're good. Now we're maxed out. Alright, I would like Shincho to have a little bit more pep in his step. so we can melt down the boss's crit spot. Come on, baby. Alright, that should be good. Alright, so we're gonna use... Well, no, maybe we can't. God damn it, maybe we can't. Because that would technically be giving us amplified damage from Shincho, which is significant damage. So... Let's switch Barbara. Switch to Barbara. Run Barbara. A little less good that I replaced you and not you. Anyways. Let's do this. Because I need to generate particles. Also, we might as well do this. Alright. Ooh, I barely... There we go. Thank God. I was about to say shit. Alright, so now this is max alt, max resolve stacks. That's what I wanted to see. I was about to say, that looks more and more like what I'm used to. That's because I always sequence with my characters getting max or close to max resolve stacks. But yeah, that's Raiden Shogun. Yeah, she's a 5-star, so kind of not as relevant as I think Xiangling and such. Rosaria, I think, wouldn't be bad if I had more consolation for her and I had her built, yes. I do think... Again, Xiangling already has a decent weapon, so I don't know if this is the key to it. Although, it is better than that weapon entirely, so I get it as well. So if you do just want to give this to Xiangling, you can. Also, again, my Xiangling is level 80, and her talents aren't fully leveled up. And yeah, she's just not fully developed. So if you wanted to level up Xiangling to level 90, give her a crown on her ult or Pyronado. Yeah, all of that would be really, really good. And there's not many pyro supports in the game. What I mean by that is like a pyro application character. So like reverse vaporize or reverse melt. She can do that. So if there's ever a hard-hitting like cryo character that's going to come down the pipeline, or maybe, I don't know, Ganyu or something, that could be insane. So if you activate Ganyu's ult and activate Xiangling and spiral this, that's going to hit really, really hard. So if you have Ganyu, I would suggest using that. I think it would be insane. And yeah, also she would be detonating as well as, like, yeah, it would be a back and forth mixture of vaporize on her and off her. Which is maybe why this weapon has value, is because of elemental mastery being huge. It makes her just better overall. But this weapon with her is also amazing because it gives you basically the one thing that's going to buff your damage on your ult anyway with this artifact set, and everything else in between. Also, it's giving her crit rate on her ult, so if you don't have a lot of crit rate built in, you can just go about it like that. Again, if only we could get 2 of these, even if we could get like 2, like I'd rather have 2 refinement rank 2 of these than 1 refinement rank 5, just because it's so useful and it's such a good base. Like 20% damage amplification on any character's ult is already more than most weapons do for you, you know, outside of 5 stars, of course. But ladies and gentlemen, that was essentially the catch. It is totally worth it. It is very, very good. Also, it is one of the most beautiful looking weapons in the game. It looks like a mini Poseidon spear. I love it. It looks awesome. Also, it glows in a very cool way. Sometimes weapons like base doesn't look very cool. Like this is the Favonius weapon. It's got a little glimmer there. This weapon looks cooler than that one, at least. It's got a little tiny glowing pearl. Bennett's, well, we got the demon sword on Bennett, but yeah, needless to say, this is one of the coolest free-to-play weapons ever. Aesthetically, it looks fantastic, it looks unique and different. It is just a big pain in the ass to get, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I did make a video about that prior to that, where we covered the minutia of how to get the catch, the pufferfish, how the fishing works, essentially, and how to basically hyper-progress through that and not kill time, which is definitely an option when trying to get this weapon. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, also, if you happen to support the video in any way, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the beginning, thank you so much. It was a pain to get this weapon, a pain in the ass, and it's not even max refined yet, but I will maybe make a redo of this video when we have all of the usable characters, or at least in the known ethos, as well as it being max refined. We'll maybe make a part 2 to this. Also, when I have Xiangling more leveled up and all those things, there's a lot of time on our hands with Mermaid Girl right around the horizon. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe button to my right. Thank you again, and goodbye.